I am cheese. How many hats do I have on? That's not important. Today, it's autistic tank rant time. We are talking about the Sturmpanzer II Bison. Bison 2, or whatever the name is. Now this one, I looked up the wiki, I was like, okay, time to do my research, I'm gonna do this. I found basically nothing. Only 12 were built. Yeah, they were built, shipped into a battle, kaput. They were produced 1941, issued 1941, 1942, and they were used in the Desert Campaign, and that's all I really could find. So, this one's going to be off the rails, and it's going to be fun. Starting off, these are, I believe these are called, are they, I think they would be listed as assault guns, because they were made to take out enemy fortifications and enemy lines. So basically the whole deal was they weren't made to be they weren't made for tank-on-tank engagements. They were made for knocking out, as said, enemy lines, enemy fortifications. So therefore they were open-topped and they had thin armor. But they had it was a pretty good gun. They had a 150 millimeter howitzer, and it was so yeah, they took this 150 millimeter howitzer and they slammed it onto a Panzer II chassis, and then it turns out the gun's too big for the Panzer II chassis. Duh. So they have to make the chassis longer, add 2 extra road wheels, and it was done. Now, a lot of these assault guns were made to take out enemy fortifications. The Bishop from the UK, the KV-2 from the USSR, and just any they liked their mobile howitzers early in the war and later in the war too. But out of all the mobile howitzers, assault guns, and that, no, I'm not going to include all the assault guns, but out of mobile howitzers, the Sturmpanzer. Oh, someone went by in the gravel road. I thought someone pulled in my driveway. I'm like, who's here? And I got it. Anywho, so out of all the assault guns, I do believe the Sturmpanzer II could have been the best design out of all of them. Now, it did suffer in North Africa because the heat and sand got into the engine and wrecked the engine and transmission, all that. Insert joke here about Germany and transmissions. But I think the design overall was a very solid design. It was a low-profile tank, so it could easily sneak in. It wasn't heavily armored, but that's not a real priority with an open-top tank. The main draw side was the reliability was iffy, and it was open-top and under-armored. But, so you take it, if it's open-top, it's pretty good tank, pretty good. Okay, let me get on track here. So, like, even doing research for this, it was so hard to find a picture. It was so hard to find something to get information for it. It's like, where am I going to find information? And, but anywho, yeah, it's probably one of the better designs for a mobile howitzers. But then again, it looks good. It's got a lot of strong selling points, but then once you put it into practice, is it going to be good? Who knows? In long term, sure, it wasn't good, but then again, it was in North Africa, which is sandy and warm, and a lot of the stuff over there, like even the BF-109s, they had to take them, redesign them to get a new air intake so they wouldn't overheat to get them back in. Now, the most experience I've had on this tank is on War Thunder. Oh no, War Thunder, here we go. Anywho, I called it the M3 Sniper because there was like a few matches where there'd be like an M3 Lee or an M3 Grant sitting like a mile away or half a mile. And all my teammates were getting knocked out because they couldn't punch through their armor, and I would just come in, bison too, and knock them out. And then, so it's a very interesting tank, but like unlike the M3 Stuart, it's like I could find no good stories or no good nothing on this. So this one's going to be an out of pocket, off the top of the head, hats episode. Which honestly, it sounds pretty fun. But just thinking, you know, they did take the 15 centimeter gun, and they did end up putting in the broom bar, the broom bar where the brooms go to get a drink. Anywho, so take a shot every time you hear me say anywho. So they did end up keeping the 150 millimeter howitzer throughout the war. And always with Germany, whenever they came up with something, it was at the point where it was too much, too late, or too little, too early. Well, Autistic Tank Rant. Yes, this is going to be a series, and yes, I'm going to be doing something weird in each one. This one's going to be a shorter one, but it was still fun. Anywho, I am Cheese. This was me ranting. Please subscribe. This channel started as a joke, and now it's become a fun project of mine. Something exciting is coming up with the Crazy Man of Dizzle Swamp, though. Something exciting's coming up. I've already recorded the video. I've already got the stuff squared away. Some interesting happens halfway through the middle of the video, so be sure to watch that when it comes out. But I wanted to get the Autistic Tank Rant done first, so go watch the one I did on the M3 Stuart. Watch this one, and if you got to this point, thank you for watching it. Have a good day. You cannot comprehend the heart